Hey, what's up to you, Scorpio? So you have the moon, the sun, three of pentacles, four of wands, the chariot, six of pentacles, the queen of cups, the high priestess, the knight of cups, and the page of cups. So it's very interesting. The moon, the sun, the three of pentacles. Some of you Scorpios may be thinking that, this modern day relationship type stuff is not right. It's not just for you Scorpios to really want to be in a relationship, but then at the same time, sometimes it can be so difficult to be in one because so many people are playing games. It just seems like everything is topsy-turvy, right? Everything just doesn't make any sense, and so many different things are confusing. And to be honest with you, Scorpios, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely correct. The three of pentacles represents, so as a result of this, a lot of you Scorpios really do need to take into consideration that, unfortunately, this search that you need to have, like putting the puzzle pieces together, is really more so, it's not necessarily right in the sense that how dysfunctional a lot of things are, but at the end of the day, it's something that you have to do, and ultimately it's all a part of the divine plan anyway. So the three of pentacles, this idea of everybody acting like they're so valuable, we got to get, you Scorpios got to get to a point where, and everyone is going to see this, right, that everyone will have a chance to see who are the people contributing and who are the people who are just trying to take solely. So the three of pentacles represents, a lot of you Scorpios should really not be so worried about if you're the ones that's contributing love and affection to the relationship. It's just that you just have to be mindful of who it is that you're giving love and affection to. The four of wands and the chariot represents, if it really depends. If things seem to be working well, where it's a strong foundation between the two of you, right? But at the same time, the two of you kind of go back and forth every now and again, then you good. But if they're a relationship where they're like this, where they're doing this, right? Where it's like if they are mostly giving you a difficult time, but then at the same time, every now and again, the four of wands, it seems like everything is going good, right? Then you got to understand that they're basically running a game, because the chariot is more so about how the two people who are supposed to be close really going back and forth, bickering and arguing with one another. And I'm here to tell you that the six of pentacles, the relationship should be reciprocal, right? Like if it's a disrespectful thing where the person's really like going off, then that's how it is that you know that you don't have to really trust these people, because they're trying to make it seem like the short time periods of them being cool with you makes up for every time they see you that it's on sight. So one of the things that you Scorpios need to watch out for is how it is that people interact with you. See, a lot of times you Scorpios misperceived in the past that you had to run game, because if you don't do it, then other people will do it to you. But the six of pentacles is that just means that you need to find people who are genuine and who contribute, right? Right, and that's how it is that you need to make the relationship a contribution. Now, the next card that I come up with, I actually drew an extra card, right, which was the Queen of Cups. But we're going to eventually read them all anyway. Who cares? But you have the Queen of Cups, the King of Pentacles. The Queen of Cups and the King of Pentacles represents you. And it represents, when it comes to what creates a sense of confidence, right, when you're getting to know people, it really comes from the value that you know that you bring to the table, okay? So when you bring in a lot of value, you'll understand that because of this, you have a sense of confidence because you precisely know a lot of the different attributes and the benefits that you bring to yourself as well as your partner. So you won't really have to trip out whatever it is, no matter who it is, trying to run game and try to make it seem like you trash. A lot of you Scorpios are very valuable, right? A lot of you Scorpios bring a very interesting and unique perspectives on a lot of different things, you know, because a lot of you Scorpios don't really have, for the most part, right? For the most part, a sense of morality, which is a good thing, because it means that people now have the sense of empowerment within their own selves to now decide what is just and what is not for themselves. So in other words, self-determination, deciding when to actually, or I should say, how their life is going to be lived. And the thing about it is that the High Priestess and the Knight of Cups represents, and a lot of people don't necessarily know how to appreciate that because they stupid. So because of the fact that a lot of people are stupid in that way, they don't really know how to appreciate that type of empowerment, right? This is where a lot of you Scorpios having to essentially pick up your presence, so to speak, and bounce, because of the fact that you're underrated, because so many people don't understand why you're there in their life, and that you Scorpios was there to show these people loyalty, and they didn't show you loyalty back. They couldn't, because they're dysfunctional. So how could they? But then you have the Seven of Cups. I'm giving you all an extra one because I drew an extra one by mistake. But then you have the Page of Cups. And the Page of Cups represents, but you know how people are. People are going to still be with their delusion. You can't really do anything about that. So let's clarify the High Priestess. Matter of fact, let's clarify the Knight of Cups. The Eight of Swords, Ace of Cups, Queen of Cups, excuse me, Ace of Cups, Eight of Cups, and the Moon. Now, you already have the Moon in this reading. So this is about how a lot of you Scorpios, I just see, honestly, with these 4 cards, I honestly just see you Scorpios being able to look through people for who and what they really are and get straight to the mandatory to understand if people are really being upfront with you, if people are being fake. Now, it's ironic that I have to say that about you Scorpios, because Scorpio is y'all are naturally a zodiac sign that wants to get to the bottom of what's going on. You want to get to the truth, but you're getting better at doing that and more accurate. Because sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes Scorpios could be, when y'all judging people, whether or not that you should be, like, y'all should get to know them. A lot of the times, I ain't gonna say, I'm not even gonna say most, because most of the times you're right, but it still leaves that portion. I would say about 30% of the times out of 100%, 70% of the times you're right, 30% of the times you're wrong. But that's still a lot in the bigger scheme of things. And that's my point. You're learning how to be more accurate, how to better spot value and know that when a person is playing games, to get away from them, right? And why you should get away from them. So now, to clarify the Page of Cups, which represents these people's delusion, and I'm going to tell you what all this stuff means. The Wheel of Fortune, the Seven of Wands, the Judgment, and then you have the Tower. So in all, right, what this represents here, these 4 cards, is really about how these people are going to continue on to delude themselves and to think that, and the Tower represents Scorpio, but they're going to delude themselves into thinking that them, like all the experiences, like you know what I'm saying, like the people that you've experienced with in the not so distant past, they're still trying to put up the front, even though that they miss you, that they were right. But what I'm trying to say to you Scorpios is that people don't really understand your value, and that you Scorpios have to start understanding your value, right? A lot of you Scorpios have the value of understanding when someone is lying, right? loving the truth, wanting to get to the bottom of the truth, asking more questions. So when people don't have that instinct in them, you Scorpios come through and show them why they need truth in their life.